Hey everyone, it's Kelly from Silly Moon Quilting Co. Today we're going to just do a really super quick video and show you our two newest rulers. We're going to do actual proper tutorials on them, but right now I just had a bit of a brainchild as to what I wanted to do with these two rulers to show you quickly what they can do. So there's Cupid, which is our new heart ruler. So that's 5-3 it's called. So that does a 3-inch heart and a 5-inch heart. And there's our O Canada ruler, which was just released yesterday, and that will do a maple leaf within a 6-inch block. So I'm just going to quickly show you a neat little runner thing here to do with these two rulers. I'm working today on my Juki TL 2010Q. Obviously I have my ruler foot. I actually am playing with something here too because I've got 100-weight thread in, because I want it to stand out a little bit more. So we're going to see how that works. So I'm going to start with the O Canada ruler, which is our like I said, our maple leaf. This ruler is reversible, so it flips to complete the other side. Now on a long arm, when you're standing over top, it makes it very easy to see the registration lines. So when you're on a domestic, it's a good idea to raise your chair a little bit, but it's also, you have the ability to move the ruler to where it's going to work best for you. So I tend to want to start going this way on this side, so the ruler's actually upside down. And if you notice, I've got sticky tape on both sides of the ruler. And what that does is it means I don't have to stop in the middle of my leaf and flip it. So there's a registration line on this ruler that is right, the center one here at the bottom, this one here. What that does is that lines up your needle in the position which is your master line of where you're going to put it. So I've got my line drawn on here straight across this piece of fabric, and I've got my ruler foot tucked right in that corner there, and I've got my sticky tape there, and I'm going to have a firm grip. Now you could quite easily stitch this direction as well. I like to stitch it this way because I feel it gives me better control. And on a long arm, of course, you're going to do it, you're going to move the head, so you're going to do it whichever way works best for you. So let's give this a try, and I'll show you how easy it is to make a maple leaf. It's really important to hold down the sides of the ruler, and that's why you've got a good piece of sticky tape on there. I've already locked my stitches, so we're just going to carry on here. And you just follow around the corner. Be careful when you go around the outside corners that you don't veer off of that. And that you'll notice in each of these little petals or leaf tips, it just sits in there nicely. Just going to move that thread out of the way. Sits in there nicely to make it easy for you to go around. It's when you're on the outside corner here, you got to go a little slow. And you just want to reposition your hands as you feel you need to. So when I get to there, I'm going to stop my ruler, and I'm either going to turn my fabric so that I continue working in the same direction, but I'm going to turn my ruler. So I can do it this way if I want, if I'm comfortable doing that. I just want to make sure that I'm tucked in there and that my foot, or the line on the bottom of the ruler on here, is still on the seam that I was working on, because that's going to give me the best lineup, and it's going to make sure things are nice and square when I get to the bottom. So we're going to go this way, and then I'm just going to work around the other side. And stop if you need to adjust your hands. And you'll notice on this ruler that we've radiused both sides, both edges, so that you make sure it stays nice and easy to use in your hand. This one's a little bit trickier than a plain ruler, straight ruler, so you want to make sure you go a little bit slower. And then when you come around this bottom corner, you're going to go straight back down, and that's going to create your stem of your leaf. And then when you get to the end, you're going to go straight across to your next stop. And then you might need to just make one more stitch to make sure you're all the way across the bottom. And then you've got your nice little maple leaf. So that's the maple leaf part of this. So now my thinking is I'm going to put a heart here beside the maple leaf. So my Cupid is a 5-inch heart, and this is a little bit better than 5 inches, so I want it to be the same. So I want to come down to the bottom, and now when I'm using the outside of this, that's my 5-inch heart. So I want to nest my ruler in that foot there. So again, I'm going to line up my line on here, the center line. The other 2 lines are on there if you want to offset a quarter from where this was a seam or a ditch and you wanted to offset a 1/4 of an inch, you would just move it up and move the line up to register on the next line. So that note lets me know that I'm nice and straight there. And that's about the distance I want there for spacing. So I'm just going to do a couple stitches to lock, and then I'm going to go back up and around the heart. And again, you're just applying gentle pressure, and you're going to stop when you get to the top just to move your hand so you've got a nice firm grip, and then you stop when you get to the center again. Sorry, move that a little bit better so you can see. And then I'm going to flip my ruler the other way, and I'm going to tuck it in there and roll it again until I line up on my bottom line again. You can see that. And then I'm going to come back around the other way. And again, you can do this forward or back or whatever position works best for you. You might find that this working behind the ruler or behind the foot's a little bit hard to see what you're doing and a little bit harder to control, and that's fine. You can adjust it to where you want. Templates and rulers like this, it's really important to make sure you've got that sticky tape on so that you get a nice grip. And that brings me back down to the center of my part there. If I wanted to, I could just stitch straight across this line here using my edgy 6. And I don't want to do that because I don't want to have to pick it up. So I'm going to break my thread here, a couple locking stitches, and then break my thread. And then I'm going to come over here a bit, and now I'm going to use edgy 6. So I want to put the letter I here. So I want to offset my my lines. So I'm going to put a couple stitches in, lock my stitches a bit. And then I'm going to use the bottom line on edgy 6, one of these lines, to line up on my line to know that I'm going straight. And I want to be about there. I want to be 5 inches, so or approximately 5 inches. So I know that edgy 6 is 6 inches long. So if I've lined up my bottom line here, I know how far I want to go up to be about 5 inches, because from the edge to this line is 1 inch. So I want to go a little bit more because I wasn't at the very bottom of the edge, so I want to go a little bit more. And now I want to offset that line a little bit. But first what I want to do is I want to make this an I. So I'm going to put a parallel line on there. Let's go this way. And I'm going to stitch over to the end of my ruler. And then I'll see how that kind of looks. And I'm going to stitch up to my next line. So I'm going to stitch up 1/2 inch. Now I'm going to line that up again so that I'm nice and square. And I'm going to stitch over again so that I'm about the same on the other side. And you can mark this out if you want this to be completely accurate. I'm just kind of playing here, so I want that to be about there. And I'm going to offset that line, so I've got to go a little bit more. And then I'm going to come down. And I'm going to go across. And then I'm going to go back down again. And I think what I'm going to do is go up a little bit there and stitch over, and I know that my line is there, so I kind of want to get a visual reference of where I want to be. I could even take a little pen and mark there how far over I want to go, so they're the same on the top and the bottom. But I usually just put my finger there and I've got a good visual reference of where I want to be. Again, if you're doing this on a something that you're going to display or give away, you might want to mark that a little bit more, but this is just kind of for fun and for practice right now. And then I'm going to go back down to the line I was at, and I'm going to stitch that across and do the same thing on the other side, getting a visual, stitching up a few stitches, and then coming back the other way. Now, if I really wanted to clean that up, I would actually go in and remove those little stitches in the middle there. But very quickly, you can see how we just did a really quick little block there. I'll pan out a bit here. And you've got an I Love Canada, just like that. That's simple. So there will be more tutorials coming on the heart and the maple leaf ruler. If you're interested in them, give us a call. They're available on our website right now, both of them, and they're also available from our retailers. So thanks for stopping in, and have a great day, everyone.